Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had the name of the Doctor, in which we actually didn't find out the Doctor's name. It was a bit of a tease, but what we got was oh so amazing. So, the Doctor was lured to Trenzalore by the Great Intelligence so that the Great Intelligence could enter into the Doctor's time stream and be scattered across it and undo every victory he's ever had and completely and utterly destroy him. What ended up happening, though, was Clara also went in and fulfilled the prophecy of the Impossible Girl, the Impossible Souffle Girl, our great hero, and went in and basically kept everything on track and was basically always there for the Doctor, and only sometimes did he ever notice her, you know? And then the Doctor went into his own time stream and actually went in and got Clara out of there. And while he was in there, we met up with another Doctor. Although he's not really... I mean, it is him, but he's not the Doctor. And he is played by John Hurt. And it said introducing John Hurt as the Doctor, which is insane. Yeah, this time around we're doing a minisode. We are moving on into The Night of the Doctor, which is a minisode for the 50th anniversary. Once again, in case you guys don't know what my 50th schedule is, basically. Next week, we will be watching, my dad and I will be watching Dimensions in Time and the Curse of Fatal Death. Those will be going up on Monday. As well, we will also be watching the Save the Day 50th anniversary trailer, which, from what I've told, is a spoiler-free trailer, so it'll be interesting to check that out for sure. And then, next week on Wednesday, early in the morning, we will be watching The Last Day, another minisode. And then, at its normal time, at noon Central Time, we'll be watching the 50th anniversary. So, yeah. And then after that, Dad and I will be rewatching The Night of the Doctor and the 50th anniversary. Well, I'll be rewatching it, he'll be watching it for the first time. And then... also, I should say that, and I'll be sure to mention this again next week during the 50th, we will technically, the week after, the Wednesday after the 50th, we won't actually be watching the next thing, the Christmas special, because we will be watching the 5-ish Doctors reboot, which will be interesting. So, yeah. But... that's all, in the future. Right now, we are moving on to The Night of the Doctor. So, we might as well just get right into this. I imagine this is going to be edited. I also have this feeling that I will have to do a full length on this. I guess we'll find out. I don't know how long this is, but let's get right into this minisode of Doctor Who. Here we go.
I'm trying to send a distress signal. Stop talking about doctors.
I'm a doctor. They're probably not the one you expected.
Oh! It's Paul McGann! Oh! Yes! The Night of the Doctor by Stephen Moffat. It's Paul McGann! He came back!
Where are we going?
Back to the ship.
Why?
Because the front crashes first. Think it through.
See the universe. Is it always like this?
If you're lucky.
Yeah. If you're lucky. He's got the old sonic screwdriver, too.
Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside.
What did you say? Bigger on the inside, is that what you said?
Yes, come on, you'll love it.
Yeah, come on. It's gross, though.
Yes, but you'll be perfectly safe, I promise you.
Don't touch me!
What?
I'm not part of the war. I
Whoa.
swear to you, I never was.
You're a Time Lord.
Oh.
Time Lord, but I'm one of the nice ones.
Get away from me!
Oh, crap.
I'm not a Dalek.
Who can tell the difference anymore?
Ooh.
Yes!
You haven't finished yet. Some of the universe is still standing.
I'm not leaving this
Oh,
ship without you.
no.
Then you're gonna die.
It's the middle of the Time War.
Best news all day.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
The Doctor has returned to Khan.
What?
We
He's
have
returned.
always known in our bones that one day he would return here. Such a pity he's dead.
What? Well... Is he gonna regenerate? He can't be dead. Come on, guys.
You have a little under 4 minutes.
4 minutes? That's ages.
Huh.
What if I get bored? I need a television, couple of books, any more but chess, and knitting. You're the Sisterhood of Khan. Keepers of the flame of utter boredom.
The what?
Eternal life.
That's the one.
Mock as if you will.
Huh.
But our elixir can trigger your regeneration. Bring you back. Time Lord science is elevated here on Khan. The change doesn't have to be random.
Khan? Is that what it is?
Young or old. Man or woman. You are the only hope left.
It's not my war.
Huh.
I will have no part of it.
You can't
Oh.
wait forever.
I help where I can. I will not fight.
Oh, he's ignored the war.
As you call yourself.
I call myself the Doctor.
It's the same thing in your mind. She understood there was no escaping the Time War. You are a part of this, Doctor.
Huh.
Whether you like it or not.
I would rather die.
You're dead already. How many more will you let join you?
Huh.
If she could speak.
So he needs to regenerate.
I don't suppose there's any need for a doctor anymore.
Oh no.
Make me a warrior now.
Oh.
Took the liberty of preparing this one myself.
Get out! Get out! All of you.
Huh. Regenerate alone. So he's gonna regenerate out of the Doctor.
Yes.
Charlie, Carey's, Lucy, Tamsin, Molly. Friends, companions I've known, I salute you. And Cass, I apologize. Physician, heal thyself.
Oh no. So this is how he entered the Time War. He's regenerating. Now is he... Huh.
Doctor no more.
Oh. Yep. Oh, he's young. Introducing John Hurt as the War Doctor. Yep. Holy Toledo, man. Holy Toledo, man. Oh, no, 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 no. He's so young. Holy crap. Holy crap. That is the end of the 8th Doctor. And the beginning of the War Doctor. Doctor no more. Oh boy. That's it. That's it. Okay. Man, so I'm amazed that what started out as just kind of an excuse to just justify why Doctor Who's was off the air for a certain amount of time became such a sticking point with the show and the Doctor's character. Like, that is crazy. So that's how it happened. He was young. He was young. Oh my gosh. Great to see the 8th Doctor back, by the way. Doesn't have his long flowing hair, but apparently, from what I understand, he hated it. But man, so that's what happened to him at the end. He's been avoiding the Time War all this time. He avoided it as long as he could. Oh man, oh man. Poor... I feel bad, you know? I guess the Doctor never has, like, a good regeneration, I guess. Like, there's always a horrible reason why he has to regenerate. That might be the worst one. That he willfully regenerated into a warrior. That he broke the... You know, so this builds on last episode where it's like, okay, he broke the promise. He broke the promise. He broke the promise of the Doctor. Honestly, the 8th Doctor did that. It was the 8th Doctor that broke the promise and became the warrior. He was no longer the Doctor. Whoo, boy. The War Doctor. That is insane. I gotta go back a sec. Hold up. Can I... Hold on. Can we... Oh, sweet. I'm watching this on YouTube on the BBC's official website. Lucky for me, they have subtitles.
Beg your help. Must we beg your help now? The universe stands on the brink.
Yeah.
Will you let it fall?
So the Time War has been raging on and he's been avoiding it.
Too strong. Wise or angry, what do you need now? Warrior?
Huh.
I don't suppose there's any need for a doctor anymore.
Yeah. They need a warrior, not a doctor.
Warrior now.
I took the liberty of preparing this for myself.
He willfully regenerated into a warrior and not a doctor. God, he's sweaty.
Will it hurt?
Yes.
Good.
Ugh.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Carries Lucy, Tamsin, Molly. Friends, companions, I've known, I salute you.
Oh man, he referenced Charlie Pollard, who I've been introduced to in the Chimes of Midnight. Makes me wonder if there are any audios with the 8th Doctor where he is, you know, avoiding the war. So he's the one who forsaked. He's the one that stopped being the Doctor, you know? Honestly, you honestly can't put that on... Well, I mean, you can. I don't know. It's like, I mean, technically, the 8th Doctor is to blame a little, too. Now, what were they... Karn. Okay, not Khan. The Karn. Okay. So, he said he returned to the Karn. So, okay, when they first showed up, I swear I thought they were the Kinda. I was like, uh-oh, we're going back. But no. They are the Karn. I don't think I've met the Karn. Oh, boy. That is insane, man. For 6 minutes, it's so poignant and brilliant. This is crazy, man. This is insane. It will be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch this with Dad. Dad, who doesn't even know about John Hurt being in Doctor Who. That'll be funny. And I will have to explain that all to him. Honestly, guys, like, you know, I'm sure this reaction video has been great. I'm kind of looking forward to that, the rewatch. And I'm still looking forward to, you know, the next minisode that I'll have to watch, The Last Day, as well as the 50th. Man, oh man. Okay, so, I mean, I didn't write down too many notes, but, you know. So, I wrote down Cass. Cass, who was, you know, had all the makings of a great companion, but as soon as she realized that the Doctor was a Time Lord, she wanted to get the hell away from him. Because, yeah, the Time War, the war between the Time Lords and the Daleks, you know, nearly destroyed the universe, the last great Time War. It makes you wonder what the other Time Wars were about then. But yeah. So that's interesting to see someone who recognizes a Time Lord, you know? Because, you know, obviously Earth was never affected by the Time War, but it's so low on the rungs of the universe, I guess. But I mean, even from episode 3 with the Gelf, like, they were, you know, they said, like, you know, the Time War was basically, like, invisible to lower planets, but to so many people it was devastating, you know? It was just devastating. And so just seeing her just completely go against the Doctor because she realized he's a Time Lord, like, it's kind of heartbreaking, you know? And it's interesting. So he has avoided the war as long as he possibly can. He has avoided it, you know? That's interesting, that all of this time he has avoided the war. You know, he helps out where he can, but for the most part he stays out of the fighting. And it's only now that he speaks to the people, the Karn, and, you know, and sees Cass die, that he decides, okay, I need to go in. He goes in to stop the war. You know, he needs to finish it, and the only way to do that is to forsake being a doctor. He is no longer a doctor, he is a warrior. Honestly, he kind of forced his regeneration, didn't he? Now, the way they said it, like...
Am I back on Khan? You're the Sisterhood of Khan. Keepers of the flame of utter boredom.
Eternal life.
That's the one.
Mock as if you will, but our elixir can trigger your regeneration.
Can trigger it.
Bring you back. Time Lord science is elevated here on Khan. The change doesn't have to be random.
Ooh.
Fat or thin, young or old, man.
Okay.
Why would you do this for me?
You have helped us in the past.
You were never big on gratitude.
The war between the Daleks and the Time Lords threatens all reality.
Yeah.
You are the only hope left.
It's not my war. I will have no part of it.
You can't ignore it forever.
I help where I can. I will not fight.
Because you are the good man, as you call yourself.
I call myself the Doctor.
It's the same thing in your mind.
Good man, doctor. Yeah.
In that case, Doctor, attend your patient.
Yeah. There's nothing... A doctor can't stop a war.
You're wasting your time. She is beyond even our help.
She wanted to see the universe.
She didn't miss much.
Damn.
Very nearly
That line is crazy.
I could have got her off, but she wouldn't listen.
Then she was wiser than you. She understood there was no escaping the Time War. You are a part of this, Doctor, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Die.
You're dead already. How many more will you let join you?
Huh.
If she could speak, what would she say?
To me, nothing. I'm a Time Lord. Everything she despised.
She would beg your help, as we beg your help now.
Huh.
The universe stands on the brink.
Yeah.
Will you let it fall? Fast or strong? Wise or angry? What do you need now?
So he chooses.
Warrior?
Okay, so the Sisterhood of Karn can elevate Time Lord science, and they can force his regeneration, basically. Force his regeneration and not make it random, which is crazy. Because, yeah, that's the one thing about regeneration. It's always random for him. And so he could pick out what he needed. He could pick out exactly what he needed in order to end the Time War. And he chose Warrior. He broke the promise of the Doctor. And he forced himself to become a warrior. That is insane. Oh man. So this is how the Doctor entered the war. So the Eighth Doctor was not involved in the war, necessarily. He did say, I think at the beginning, he helps out where he can. He helps people where he can. But for the most part, he stays out of it. And it's only here that he decides to fully enter the war as a combatant. And it's through that he ends the war then. He ends the war. Now, here's my question. So, okay. We now have our answer as to where John Hurt is placed. This Doctor, the War Doctor, is placed between the 8th and the 9th Doctor. The 9th Doctor coming just off the war, and the 8th Doctor avoiding the war as much as he could. In the middle there is this new War Doctor, who honestly isn't the Doctor. So, now, I do question, who was it that ended the war? Was it this warrior, or was it the 9th Doctor? Was it by re-becoming the Doctor that he was able to put an end to the war once and for all? Do you get what I'm saying? Because he obviously spent a long time in the war. He spent a long time, because that John Hurt at the end, right there at the end, yeah. He was young. Like, you see that. That is a young John Hurt right there. Which means he got old the old-fashioned way. He actually aged all the way to where he was, where we saw him in The Name of the Doctor. So he actually got old, which takes a while. Definitely takes a while. I mean, I believe, from what I've been told, with the first Doctor, the reason he was that old was because he naturally aged. And that took hundreds of years. And, technically, when you add in the lore later, because obviously none of this was planned out. That's the greatest thing about Doctor Who, is none of this shit was planned. They just had an old man in a box. That was all they had, They had an old man in a box. That is all they had at the beginning of this, and now it has become this. So, when you go back and you add in everything with this Doctor, when you go back in and add everything with this Doctor, with the Doctor, I believe I've heard that the first Doctor should have regenerated of old age anyway. And again, I don't know the full details of how he regenerates into the second Doctor. I haven't gotten there in classic Doctor Who, and won't get there for a while. But does that mean that... So this one, John Hurt, the War Doctor, the Warrior Doctor, he ages. That's how long he spends in the war. He actually literally ages all the way. All the way into becoming old John Hurt. An old warrior. Until finally... And then that would be my question. Which comes first? Him regenerating into the 9th Doctor? Or him ending the war? Which of those comes first is something we need to know. And hopefully the show will tell me, Hopefully the show will tell me. But yeah. Which comes first? Is it that he ends the Time War and then forces his regeneration and becomes the Doctor again, still having PTSD as we saw with the 9th Doctor, or to finally put the final nail in the coffin of the Time War, does he realize he needs to become the Doctor again? I don't know. I don't really know. And I guess maybe we'll find out. I know I have another minisode. Maybe that will explain? Maybe. That is just crazy that it's like, not only do we see his regeneration into the War Doctor, but we see him regenerate into a young War Doctor. And we now know he ages naturally. So that has to be hundreds of years. So, by the way, after all of that... Dude's only 1,100 years old? Bullcrap. I'm pretty sure he's restarted his age a couple times. Oh, man, oh, man. But again, they never planned any of this out, so who knows? They'll probably retcon his age somehow. Also, the next question I would have is, and it's a question I've always had, by the way, when we've ever heard about the Time War, and back when I thought it was just Eccleston that did it. Through all of this, was the TARDIS still a fucking police box? You know, with all this stuff, oh, he's a warrior now. He's not the Doctor anymore. Doctor no more. And all this stuff. It's like, but is he still flying around in a police box? In all these intense, savage, brutal battles in the last great Time War against the Daleks? Like, you see all these TARDISes and Daleks and it's going nuts and the universe is burning. And you just see this fucking police box spinning around through space with fucking John Hurt in there. And look, no disrespect. You guys know I love the TARDIS. The TARDIS is amazing and I love that it's just a police box. But at the same time, it's kind of goofy. The TARDIS has always been kind of goofy. Because like, oh, it's a police box. And he just never fixes it because, fuck it, it's a police box. It's cool. You know, but it's like, the thought, I've always thought that with back when I thought, okay, it's Eccleston that was in the Time War. It's like, I always thought, all these intense, brutal battles, and there's still a fucking police box going through the air. I don't know. Oh boy. Okay, that was incredible for 6 minutes. Great to see the 8th Doctor back, you know? Because, like, you know, I watched the movie, and I had fun with that. It was a fun movie, and then it's like, okay, well, he never shows up again. He'll get novelizations, he'll get novels, and he'll get audios and stuff, but that's about it. And it's like, well, but the fact that he came back for this is awesome. I love that. I love that he came back for this. Honestly, can we just have more minisodes with him as the Doctor? The guy has not aged, by the way, like, at all. And this is like 2013. Isn't that like 15 years-ish? That's around... no, that's 17 years. That's about 17 years, isn't it? 17 years after the movie. Guy doesn't really look like he's aged that much. At least not to where, like, it would be too noticeable. So that was cool. I like getting the 8th Doctor back, and it's going to be fun to rewatch this and talk about it with Dad, definitely. But that is for another time. Next time on Doctor Who, early morning. What day is that going up? Let's see. So, let's see. The Crimson Horror is going up on the 29th, which means Nightmare in Silver is the 5th. And the Name of the Doctor is going up on the 12th to YouTube, which is also when this is going up. So, okay, that's it. So, everyone here on YouTube, February 19th, Wednesday, February 19th, mark the date on your calendar, early morning-ish. Maybe not too early morning though. In the morning, we will be watching the next minisode, The Last Day, and then February the 19th at 12 p.m. Central Time. The 50th anniversary goes up right here on 7th Hour Films. So, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time on The Last Day. See you guys there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.